$400 million in prize money, Rolex on every scoreboard, billions in broadcast rights. Professional golf has never been richer, and it has never mattered less. What's killing it isn't money, it's something far harder to fix. PGA Tour purses have never been higher. In 2026, the total prize pool crossed $400 million, with signature events like the Players and the Memorial each carrying at least $20 million. Even the smallest tournaments now guarantee millions in winnings. Luxury brands such as Rolex and Mercedes-Benz pour tens of millions into sponsorships, their logos everywhere from tee boxes to broadcast graphics. The sport's global media rights now exceed $2 billion, with networks and streaming giants competing for every marquee weekend. The cash engine roars on, fueled by new money from Saudi-backed LIV Golf and the $2 billion TGL venture. On paper, professional golf looks bulletproof, flush with capital, awash in prestige, and more financially secure than almost any sport on earth. But behind these record numbers, something deeper is slipping away. When Tiger Woods stepped onto the 18th green at Augusta in 1997, nearly 22 million people watched. For a single golf broadcast, that number was unprecedented. He didn't just win tournaments, he turned them into headline events, the kind that drew in viewers who'd never picked up a club. Over the next 2 decades, Woods transformed golf from a quiet pastime into a fixture of mainstream culture. His storylines, dominance, collapse, redemption gave every Sunday a sense of urgency. In 2019, after years of injury and scandal, Tiger's Masters comeback pulled in almost 19 million viewers, the biggest golf audience of the decade. Each spike in the ratings charted the rise and fall of one man's myth. The numbers weren't just big, they were emotional highs, proof that golf mattered beyond the course. For years, the sport's identity and relevance were welded to Tiger's story. When he faded, the narrative gravity went with him, leaving the weekly product with a void no amount of prize money could fill. Sunday ratings for regular PGA Tour events dropped 19% in 2024. Saturdays fell 17%. Even the tour's biggest non-majors, flush with prize money and sponsors, couldn't stop the slide. The broadcasts themselves stretched for 4 hours with long gaps between shots and little sense of climax. Only 12% of rounds feature direct, late-stage duels between stars. Most weekends drift without a signature moment. For a casual viewer, the experience feels stretched thin, too much filler, not enough fire. The numbers prove it. Viewers aren't vanishing, but they're tuning out of the weekly grind. The product is still there, but the urgency is gone. Money can buy bigger purses and flashier graphics, but it can't manufacture the kind of tension that keeps people glued to the screen. Instead, the audience is slipping away, one slow Sunday at a time. The age gap between golf's old guard and its future is now impossible to ignore. The median viewer for a traditional PGA Tour broadcast is 60 years old. That is a full generation older than the median for TGL, where the number drops to 52. That difference is not just a statistic, it is a warning light. While the legacy product grows older, TGL's launch has drawn billions in investment from tech leaders and sports icons who see an opening to rewrite the rules. The league's $2 billion war chest signals more than financial muscle. It is a bet that speed, spectacle, and digital-first experiences can bring golf back to the center of the conversation. TGL's format, built for screens and short attention spans, is chasing the audience that the weekly tour has lost. The divide between these formats is no longer theoretical, it is generational, and it is urgent. LIV Golf exploded onto the scene with a $1.5 billion war chest and player contracts reaching $3 million apiece, instantly rewriting the economics of the sport. Teams, shotgun starts, and a season built for spectacle, LIV promised a new era, but the shock wasn't about money. The headlines focused on Saudi funding and player defections, but beneath the noise, LIV exposed something deeper, a vacuum at the heart of professional golf. The league's cash didn't kill off the PGA Tour or erase the majors, but it did reveal just how fragile the sport's story had become. LIV's format, built around team scoring and guaranteed paydays, didn't captivate traditionalists or win over the mainstream. Instead, it held up a mirror, showing that when the narrative is missing, Even the biggest checks can't buy meaning. The disruption wasn't about who could spend more, it was about who could matter more. Augusta in April still stops time. The 2026 Masters final round drew an average of 14 million viewers, more than any golf broadcast since 2015. At its peak, over 20 million people were watching, a surge not seen in more than a decade. For one afternoon, every number pointed the same direction, up. The galleries pressed against the ropes, the air thick with anticipation, and screens across the country flickered with the green of Amen Corner. Nielsen's Big Data Plus panel system tracked the audience as it swelled, confirming a 33% jump over just 2 years prior. CBS called it the most watched final round in 11 years. In a season where regular tournaments struggled to hold attention, the Masters proved that meaning still moves people. When the story is big enough, golf's heartbeat is deafening. Non-major PGA Tour ratings drop double digits, but the Masters still draws millions. Golf isn't empty, it's adrift. The real crisis isn't who's watching, but who still cares. What about you?